A few years ago, I decided to purchase a personal residence here in Chattanooga, Tennessee, and there are some things I wish I knew before making that decision. In this video, we go over all of that. Welcome back to the channel, guys. If you're new here, my name is Barron. I'm a licensed realtor here in Chattanooga, Tennessee. And on this channel, we go over all things Chattanooga, what it's like to live, eat, sleep, play, work here. And guys, again, I'm a licensed realtor. So in any of the ways down below, feel free to contact me, and me and my team will be happy to help you guys relocate here. I love it, guys. The phone's blowing up, and I love when you guys reach out, you contact me, and we love helping you guys out. Let's get on with the video. The first thing I wish I knew before purchasing a home here in Chattanooga was about the weather. So the weather here can get kind of annoying during the winter. Me personally, I think the winters here suck. You know, I get a lot of hate for that because the winters here are very mild. The only thing that I don't like about it is that they get very gray and gloomy, and it'll get cold, and a lot of times it won't get cold enough to snow, and it'll just be gray, gloomy, and rainy the entire winter. This winter, however, has not been bad at all. Right now, I should probably be filming outside right now because it's like 70 degrees. We are beginning February, so it should be one of the colder times of year, but it's not at all. It is actually very mild out, the sun's out, and it's beautiful. But in those times when it does get gray and gloomy, it sucks. I'd say that especially this winter, like it hasn't been bad at all. It's probably been gray, gloomy, overcast a third of the time. The rest has just been sunny and warm and very mild. So it's hit or miss with that. Chattanooga here, it does not snow often at all. We will probably get 1 to 3 snow days out of the year. But when it does snow, it's really cool because Chattanoogans aren't really used to snow. So work is put off, school is put off, and you get to go outside and enjoy the snow. And it becomes a winter wonderland. Anytime it snows, you want to make your way to the mountains because it's absolutely gorgeous. And you can spend time with your family, your kids, your husband, and your wife because you probably don't have work and you probably don't have school as well. So that's really cool. Now, I lived in Chattanooga for a few years before I decided to purchase a home here, so I kind of knew about the weather. We do get a lot of rain here in Chattanooga, so something specific to look out for when you are looking for a home and deciding to purchase a home. You'll probably have a basement. A lot of the homes here are built with basements or crawl spaces, and a lot of times the basements will leak with water. So when you're looking at homes, you really want to look for damp areas in the basement, any sign of any leakage or anything like that and of that nature. You want to look for mold and water spots around the baseboards and the walls. Another thing I wish I knew is the cost of living. The cost of living here is actually very cheap, and if you're looking to buy your first home and make this place your personal residence, it's actually a great place because the cost of living is very cheap, especially when compared to the rest of the United States. I think in Chattanooga, it's around a 9% less cost of living compared to everywhere else in the United States. But if you're coming from somewhere like California or New York and Arizona and Texas, you're going to be paying a lot less, not only in just general things like utilities, groceries, gas, but taxes. The property taxes here are very cheap, and a lot of people do want to move here because the property taxes here are just amazing compared to literally anywhere else. So that surprised me a lot, especially when I started looking at other areas to live in. The property taxes were just insane. So when I purchased this home in Chattanooga, I barely spent anything on taxes, which is absolutely awesome, and I'm very happy about that. And a lot of people who move here, they're happy about that too, and that's one of the main reasons why a lot of people do move here. Now, if you are a first-time home buyer, when you are purchasing a house, yes, in Chattanooga, the cost of living is very low, and a lot of times you'll be paying a lot less for housing here. But if you are a first-time home buyer and you've never bought a house before, you don't know how the process works, I recommend that you budget an extra 15% on top of the amount of money that you plan on putting down up front, right? So you have your down payment, and then you also have closing costs and things of that nature, but you also want to put probably another 10 and 15% of money to the side just in case anything else comes up. So for example, in my personal residence right now, something that I discovered was radon. Radon is a gas. It's a very harmful gas that, if your home has it, if you have a basement, you really want to get it checked out because it can be very harmful. And that is an example of an expense that you don't really expect to spend money on, right? So I got my radon test and it came back that, hey, I needed to get a radon mitigation system put in, $3K right away. It's not something that I needed to fix right away, but I wanted to do it just in case. I just wanted to not think about it, right? So I got my radon mitigation system put in and, $3K out the door right away. And that's something that I did not expect to spend money on. So that's just something to think about. Put aside another 10 to 15% extra money just in case anything else comes up when you purchase a home. And the third thing that I wish I knew, or that would have been, I guess, helpful in solidifying my decision in purchasing a home here, is this place is called Scenic City for a reason, because the views and the opportunities to go explore the mountains and just the beauty is absolutely awesome. Chattanooga sits in a valley between the Cumberland and Appalachian Mountains, so you have very close access to the mountains on really both sides in all directions, right? If you go south, you can hit the Blue Ridge Mountains. If you go like a little southeast, then you're hitting Atlanta if you go directly south, but southeast, southwest, northwest, directly north, and then the northeast. I mean, it's absolutely gorgeous. You have the Smoky Mountains, that's about 2.5 hours away. And the mountains and the outdoors provide so many things to do as well. If you're an outdoor person, you'll absolutely love it here because there are so many opportunities to go hiking, mountain biking, rock climbing. There's a bunch of lakes and rivers here, so you can hike along a stream or a river. Or if you have a boat, you can go out on the lake, especially during the warm months. That's what I love to do. That's one of the reasons why I love living here, is because, a lot of people complain about the hot and humid summers here, but I mean, there's rivers and lakes all around, so take advantage of it. Take advantage of the hot weather and go refresh yourself out in the cold rivers, or get a boat or find a friend with a boat. That's what I do. And go out on the boat and have a good time doing water sports, going tubing, wake surfing, wakeboarding, that type of thing. And it's honestly a great time. And that's a big reason why a lot of people love it here as well. If you're an outdoor person, you'll absolutely love it because you will never get bored. Now, the food scene here is absolutely awesome as well. I will say it's not as good as Nashville, and it's not really as good as Knoxville as well, but it is pretty awesome. When I first moved here, I did not explore downtown very much. I didn't really, take advantage of downtown and all that it has to offer. When you actually explore it a lot more, you'll see that the food is just awesome. It is really cool. You can find anything from Indian food, Mexican food, my personal favorite. Then there's like farm to table restaurants as well. We are in the South, so we have a lot of that going on, and big portion sizes, biscuits, pancakes, that type of thing. Just straight up awesomeness. And there are so many options for food as well, and that's not something that I really discovered until fairly recently. When I first moved here about 5 years ago, I did not take advantage of that. Now I take advantage of that. Chattanooga also has a thriving art and cultural scene here. I didn't know this until recently, really I didn't know it before I bought my house either, because I really just started to explore the city a lot more and explore its culture and history. And Chattanooga is filled with history, not only with, war, but also in arts and culture as well. There are a ton of museums, and there's, the Chattanooga Film Festival. There's River Bend, which is a music festival that happens every single year right on the river. Awesome time, and it seems like every single weekend there's something going on, especially during the warm months. There's always like a festival, something for the community to get together and have a good time. And there's just always something to do downtown right on the river, and it's a really awesome vibe. There's a stereotype of what a typical person looks like in the South. In Chattanooga, however, we have such a thriving outdoor and active community that stereotype is kind of, brought down a little bit. But, because, as I mentioned before, because we are seated in a valley and super close to the mountains, people are active. People like to get outdoors. People like to exercise. And honestly, it's a lot more motivating to exercise when you have pretty nature and just pretty views all around you as well. I mentioned before, hiking, rock climbing. Rock climbing is a killer workout. But hiking, rock climbing, mountain biking as well, killer workout. I just went recently, and luckily my friend let me borrow his e-bike, and hey, it was it was easy for me. The other people were struggling, but I had a great time. Just things of that nature. Go out on the boat, go canoeing, go kayaking. You can go paddleboarding on the river right under the iconic Blue Bridge in Chattanooga. And there are a ton of opportunities to stay active and find an active community that you can relate with and have a good time with. Chattanooga is in southeast Tennessee, and a big part of the culture here is Southern hospitality. Southern hospitality is a real thing, no matter what you look like, no matter where you're coming from. People are very accepting. They don't try to shove agendas or their political views or anything like that down your throat. It is a pretty conservative place. Chattanooga is, I guess Tennessee in general is a pretty conservative state, but people aren't shoving, ideals or ideologies down your throat, which is really cool. People are just very accepting, and they're very friendly, and they're very hospitable. Seems like everywhere you go, people will say hi. People are just very friendly here, which is awesome. Especially, I came from Miami. I lived in Miami for 4 years before I decided to move to Chattanooga. And, coming from somewhere like Miami where, it's kind of fake, kind of has a fake culture, you come up here and people are just super friendly everywhere you go. And that took me at a surprise, and I absolutely love it. So yeah, those are the 7 things that I wish I knew before moving to Chattanooga and buying a home here. And that took me at a pleasant surprise as well. With the affordable living and active lifestyle and outdoor lifestyle and beautiful scenery and friendly people and awesome culture and arts and food, you'll never get bored here. And if you are considering moving here, you'll absolutely love it. I have no doubt. Especially if you're considering, Nashville, Chattanooga, Knoxville. There's pros and cons to each place. I think Chattanooga is the happy medium. So if you are considering moving to Chattanooga, again, guys, I am a licensed realtor. So in any of the ways down below, feel free to contact me. Me and my team will be happy to help you guys relocate here. And I absolutely love it, guys. My phone's blowing up, and I love helping you guys find homes here. So I will see you in the next one. Peace.